Spiritual healing from the TorahParashat, Shelach Lecha. How can we learn from the fear of the spies to release our fears and worries? So in EmunaHealing, I have come across so many women who suffer from fears, worries, and lack of self-confidence. Unfortunately, I often relate personally to these negative emotions. We Jews suffer from tribal traumas passed down from generations of exiles, all the way down to the Egyptian exile, that enslavement experience. Hashem didn't lead us directly from Egypt to Israel, but took us the long about way to give us time for purging ourselves from our slave mentality. But it seems that this process still is going on. It's never ending. Even our current fears and worries, there are still residues from that ancient trauma which inflicted us with a severe flashback in recent times. Due to the slave experience or having been controlled by others, we still suffer from control issues. The other day, a friend panicked because she felt overwhelmed about all her responsibilities, which she didn't feel she could handle. She suffered from the same perfectionist syndrome as me, expecting to be able to do her job immaculately, to have everything under control. Since that wasn't possible, she felt inadequate and berated herself. Feeling low esteem also stems from the generational trauma of being the underdog, which has been stepped on and taken advantage on by others repeatedly. Women who feel a lack of self-confidence may enter unhealthy relationships with men to fill that deep black lack. I asked one of my past students, why did you agree to go out with that guy after we just talked about how you need some time to build yourself up before being ready to date? She explained that although she had agreed with me only one day prior not to date yet, she gave in to the temptation of the feeling of filling her deep deficiency that dating offered. Although the Spies had undergone a slavery detachment period of 40 years in the desert, living directly under Hashem's protecting wing, and experiencing his miracle, they were still far from liberated from the slavery drags of inferiority feelings. Why did the spies compare themselves to grasshoppers? That's something I was mulling over. And because they said, this is what they said. There we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, descended from the giants. In our eyes, we seemed like grasshoppers, and so we were in their eyes. I'm thinking about this little tiny fragile creature that blends in totally with the grass itself, which lends itself to be easily be stepped on. It is one of the lowest creatures in the food chain, and certainly not a conqueror. The purpose of grasshoppers' well-known feature, the ability to jump, is imbued within them for the sake of escaping from a predator or launching themselves in flight. I find it interesting that after the spies compare themselves to grasshoppers, they add, and so we were in their eyes. How would they know how others regarded them, and what's the connection between the way we see ourselves and how others perceive us? We all know, based on war history, that the morale of the soldiers is more vital for the outcome of the war than their ammunition. Emek Davai explains, the fact that the heart of the spies fell into feeling low self-esteem is a sign that they wouldn't be able to conquer the nations. The same thing happened later to King Shaul, as it states. Then Shaul saw the camp of the Philistines, and he feared, and his heart trembled greatly. The first book of Shmuel, chapter 28, verse 5. The fact that dread entered Shaul's heart was a sign that he wouldn't be successful in war. Our self-image greatly influences how others view us. When a person is possessed by low self-esteem, he exudes the kind of energy of failure towards others. This, in return, makes them feel superior and confident in their victory over that person. Moreover, when a person is overcome by fear, his view of others becomes distorted. How would the spies be so sure that they were considered grasshoppers in the eyes of their enemies? Only Hashem knows that what people feel in their hearts. We all experience fear at a certain point in our lives. People are afraid to fail, but also afraid to succeed. Often people fear what others might think. Fear can make us freeze and become unable to act and keep the mitzvot. By understanding the root of the fear of the spies and the Israelites who listened to their report, we may get an important clue regarding our own fears and worries. Every Tisha B'Av, we are called upon to shed yet another layer of this foundational fear, which still prevents us from building our temple in Jerusalem, in the heart of the land of Israel. The spies expressed their inferiority complex as follows. והאנשים אשר עלו עמו אמרו, לא נוכל לעלות אל העם כי חזק הוא ממנו. But the men who went up with him said, we're unable to go up against the people, for they're stronger than we. The Hebrew mimenu, than us, can also be read mimeno, than him. They, the spies, said this in reference to the Most High, as it were, as if to say that the people are stronger than he, God. Says Rashi. How is it possible for anyone to believe that human beings can ever be stronger than God? From here we learn that the root of fear is a lack of bitachon, trusting in Hashem, feeling strongly connected to Hashem and experiencing His divine supervision will prevent anyone from failing into a fearful state. The first step in overcoming our fears and worries is to meditate and envision Hashem's powerful love and protection, to internalize that the only thing to fear is our own sin. Absolutely no one can hurt us when Hashem is on our side. Now get ready to flip that anxiety switch off and release your fears. Make yourself comfortable in a safe, secure place where you can be alone with Hashem. Breathe in to a count of 7. Hold your breath for a count of 4. and breathe out to a count of 8. Repeat this pattern 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Feel how your heart relaxes more and more. Do a body scan with your breath. Do you hold any fear in any part of your body? Observe where exactly the fearful energy has accumulated in your body. Sometimes you may feel tightness in your heart, an uneasy feeling in your stomach, a narrowing of your throat, or you may feel tension in any of your limbs. Keep breathing softly into any of the tense places of your being to allow the tension to melt away. Now it's time to face your fears. If you don't address your fears, they can accumulate with time. Fear is not just feeling, it's an energy. No energy can be contained for too long. Let us get ready to release our fears, to prevent them from being expressed as struggle and pain. Tune into your fears. You may have many minor fears and 1 or 2 major ones. Allow yourself to become aware of your fears and communicate with them so you can release them, What do you fear? Do you have feelings of inferiority? Do you feel lonely, abandoned, small, and vulnerable? Like a grasshopper, afraid to be stepped on? Once you're successful in finding the root of your fearful energy, you can communicate with it. Focus on one of your fears. What is your fear trying to tell you? A dialogue with your fear can reveal vital and useful information. It can help you to understand the origin of your fear and how to make yourself feel safe. Ask your fear, what do you want me to do to support your release? A duck flutters its wings intensely after a growl to release the energy of fear. Similarly, you may find ways to help you release negative energy. It can be crying, screaming, shouting, tapping, or any vigorous physical movement. Focus on a part of your body where you feel fear has accumulated and understand what kind of movement your body wants. When you have determined what way will help you release your fear or fears, allow yourself to do it. You may want to use a combination of several ways of release. Like screaming while swinging your arms vigorously from one side to the other side. Let your fears teach you what movement to do and what sound to make to release them. Surrender to the movement, sound, and repeat it until a liberating feeling envelops you. Now envision Hashem's comforting presence, lifting your fears away as you breathe deeply. Hashem is always there for you, even within your deepest fear. His almighty power carries your fears and protects you from the object of your fear. With Hashem on your side, you are never alone. You are never weak and small, as Hashem is your stronghold. Breathe in deeply and let your breath out with a big ah. You may repeat this breathing and ahing 2 additional times. Ah. Ah. Can you feel how you're becoming liberated, truly liberated from the fears that you were holding that were holding you back? Promise yourself you will muster up the courage to continue to work on releasing fears that contribute to unwanted worry and anxiety. By building up your trust in Hashem, you can flip the anxiety switch off and release your fears. Okay. Oh no.